Hey guys, Kathleen here. I am here to give you an 11-week update along with what kind of support I've had for muscle work and that kind of thing. So two things that are pretty critical to even where you are because these things are so helpful. So my 11-week update, since 8 weeks, I mean, I've been struggling with some things the whole time, but the past few weeks I've been struggling with some loose teeth from the orthodontist, stuff like that. So let me just tell you what I'm doing and where I am. But this recovery is not linear. This kind of goes back and forth. I had increase in swelling after I had no swelling, and so it's not like a normal recovery. So I'm at 19 tongue depressors. I'm 11 weeks, so okay, pretty good. Not great, but could be better. But that's where I'm at. And a couple things that I learned along the way, starting way back at week whatever I started these at, week 4. I started using these and I put them, not this many, but I started putting 6 in. I got up to 12 the first day, but then I regressed the next day I couldn't even get 12 in ever. It took me at least a week to 2 weeks to get back to 12. But when I put them in originally, I just put them in here. And that kind of was a mistake because what was happening was I was torquing my teeth and my palate because my surgeon said kind of move them around. I'm not sure I should have been doing what exactly I thought he meant. He might have meant something different, but I realized that I should be putting them in further so the fulcrum is further in, and then I'm not going to torque the teeth, just like seesaw the teeth. Well, that wasn't good. So once I realized my teeth were loose here from the orthodontia, I decided to move. Well, my surgeon said put them over by my canines and do both sides of the canines, but one of the canines is loose. But the canines don't work because they're pointy. So I just put them on this side. This side seems to be less numb. The tone here is better. And I'm thinking maybe because for the past 2 weeks, I've been doing that. So about 2 weeks ago, oh, so let me just finish with this. So I am now putting them back in the center as far in as I can get, but it's slamming up at the top of my palate. Um, anyway, I'm coming along from 12 to 19. Um, it's been quite a few weeks since I started, but I'll get there. Um, I want to also tell you the thing that's going on this side. This side just feels great. The TMJ feels great. Everything feels really good. Some numbness still on the gum a little bit, some here and here. More so on this side, more so on the gums here. And I'm doing some things to help with that. But my side to sides, this side does not go very far. This side does great. So that's been a problem since week 3. And so what my surgeon had me do was he had me pushing and trying to what PT does where they over kind of push you and you get pain. And he said, "You're not going to do any damage." Well, honestly, I feel like I did, um, because I didn't have any pain here, and now I do a little bit. So it might fix itself. We'll see. I do have support with that though, so I'll tell you about that in a second. So the side to sides haven't been great. This side seems to be fine and seems to be done, like as far as you really need to go. This side could go further. I don't know if I'll ever get it to do that, but we'll see. Surgeon also has me doing the so the kissy lips and the smile. I think to kind of like make sure that the scar tissue up here where there's an incision, inside, and then the scar lines that they have inside on both sides get kind of exercise so they stay flexible and all that kind of stuff. I wish I wish I would have known. I wish somebody would have said, this is why you're doing that exercise. So if you're not there yet, or next time you go to your appointment, say, why am I doing that exercise? For me, the why makes me want to do it more, and rather than I'm just doing these things. So I'm going to ask him next week when I go for my 12-week. Um, so those are all going fine. And in fact, now when I talk about support, the myofunctional therapist also has me doing those same exercises, but also has me doing O, E, ah, and then open your mouth into your hand and have your hand kind of hold it so you're not letting it go down. We're trying to correct this drift. So there's muscle stuff, there's different things. So I'm letting people try kind of tell me what I can do to help that, and we'll see how it goes. She also has me doing some things with my tongue, um, and I'll just show them to you. So I'm touching each of the back molars with my tongue, holding for 3 seconds for each. I'm not going to hold them now, but I'll show you just, and breathing through my nose. And she also has me doing something called a shrimp walk. So it's touching the top towards the teeth, and then you're sliding the tongue back as you close your mouth. As you open your mouth, your tongue slides back. So I don't know why, but I'm doing those like 10 times a day. It's 10 times, 3 times a day. And they're really easy to do in the car. So a lot of the myofunctional stuff I can do in the car, which is great, or wherever. And humming. She said humming is great because the vibration for the soft tissue, it really tones your soft tissue. My tongue and stuff was a mess last year when I started with her last March. Got my tongue tie clipped in March, and right before then I did that. I did like an eval with her. It was horrible. I was like a mess. I was like an idiot. Like I couldn't do anything. But it's come a long way since then. It just takes you doing some of the exercises. So myofunctional therapy has been helping, and then my chiropractor. Oh my gosh, he does all the chiropractic stuff. But he also will go in and put a glove on and go in and get underneath and get into my pterygoid muscle. Your pterygoid muscle is Ptyergoid, pterygoid. So, but it starts with a PTY, I believe, or PT, I think so. Um, and he's releasing muscle, clenching up in there, both sides. And he said last week, he said this side was 10 times worse than this side. This week, which was today, he said this side was 2 times worse than this side. So this side was a lot better than it was last week. The other thing he did was he uses something called an activator. I'm going like this, but it's kind of a metal instrument that does, and he was kind of like banging something in on my TMJ to help fix that. Um, I think he did a couple other things. One time he adjusted my ear since surgery. So anyway, all this support is super helpful. And I think I'm going to actually get some electro acupuncture to try to get some of this back. But all the support is super helpful. Yes, it costs. So I see him and it's about $55 a visit. I have to pay out of pocket. And the first visit, of course, is usually more because you go through an eval. And then my myofunctional therapy is not cheap either. Like $180 a visit. But I'm going like every 6 weeks to her, 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, and doing a lot of stuff in between. The other thing is I had a teeth cleaning. So I had a teeth cleaning last week. Before I went in for the teeth cleaning, I was all freaked out for the week prior because this tooth is loose and these two teeth also are a little loose. And then I felt like my gum recession. And so I went in to see the orthodontist kind of on a emergency appointment before I went in for the cleaning. And she said, it's all normal. It's all natural. I mean, it's all just normal. And talked me off a ledge because I was just not in a good place. I'd gone back to using a baby toothbrush because I found out that your toothbrush, I thought I had it here, your toothbrush, you can overbrush. And so I thought maybe I was overbrushing once I went back to the electric, and I probably was using too hard of a toothbrush head. So now I have a soft toothbrush head for the electric. Because when I did see the dentist, they're like, you need to go back to your electric. You just have a lot of tartar and stuff like that. Not bad, but you could do better. So we took the wires off at the orthodontist, went for the cleaning, decided not to do x-rays because I said, let's just wait till November till all this stuff is off, get a better look at things once I know everything's kind of settled. And then went back to the orthodontist, put the wires back on, tightened things up, and on my way. So that's kind of where I am. Definitely some fits and starts and trying to do things and uh, having some bad days, having some okay days. Coming out of the chiropractor, I usually feel really good. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Oh, and I'm still using this these little discs that you kind of attach up here to your inside of your gums at night because of the dry throat. And then if these kind of run out, maybe 6 to 8 hours into the night, I will squirt with this if I need to. But I'll link that in the description. Anyway, I did do a whole video on this, on sleep and getting that and that dryness after jaw surgery or expansion or even using a CPAP machine. I did a whole video on that last time. So you can check that out. I'll link that. And that's it for me for my 11-week update. I hope some of that was helpful to you. Take care. Drop comments if you have any or questions.